Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heroes of Four Worlds. For those of you who don't remember, this show is an actual play D&D campaign show, which just means we're going to be using Dungeons & Dragons to tell a story for you live on TV, on the internet. One announcement to start the show off. The Kickstarter is live for Green Plus Great More, the role-playing calibration and safety cards that came directly out of this here show. There are about 10 days left in the campaign, and it has been picking up pace in the last 24 hours. So now's the perfect time to go check it out. You can get there at fourth.me/Kickstarter, or if you want to read up a bit more, you can get there at fourth.me/green-plus-great more, but fourth.me/Kickstarter is a lot easier to remember. Next I want to introduce our cool cast because I hate being the only one talking. As I introduce each player, they'll tell you, introduce themselves, their name and pronouns, their character's name and pronouns, maybe something about where their character's head is at going into this episode. I will start as always and is traditional with Cage.
Hey everybody, I'm Cage. I use she, hers pronouns, and I play Tanya, the Turtle Barbarian, who also uses she, hers pronouns. And, Tanya is, I think, pretty overwhelmed at this point. She's found out some information about her egg in the last couple episodes, and is going into the hustle and bustle of a larger town. So we'll see how she does.
I like it. Next up, Tucker.
Hey there, I'm Tucker. I use she, he, or they pronouns. I play Nicodemus, who uses he pronouns. He's feeling kind of antsy right now because he woke up from a bad nap and is trying to get out of Scholar Talk and check out this place.
That's right. Next up, we have Eric.
I'm Eric, he, him. I play Dimma, who uses he or they. Dimma's attention has been jumping around for the past few episodes, but at the moment, the most interesting thing is what this Critias character has to say about prophecies. But who knows how long that will last.
And finally, we introduce Clove.
Hey y'all, my name's Clove, and this is Claudia. I play Lamia, she, her pronouns for both of us. And I don't know. I'm curious to see what this town is all about.
Cool. I'd like to do a couple reminders at the beginning of the show, so I'm going to cut them in here. For giveaways, here's what happens. Every time we roll a natural one, I will forget what that means briefly. Someone will remind me, and then I will explain to you that when we roll a natural one, I give out a code word, and the first person to type the code word in chat wins a set of our stickers. Some terms here. It's only open to people 18 and up. You got to comment on the Twitch chat first with the right code word. We like it if you follow us on Twitch because that's nice, but it's not totally required. And you have to be in the United States because we have to be able to ship it to you, and I don't want to get involved in the legal requirements of giveaways in other countries. Speaking of the sticker giveaway, though, did you know that the fourth place is teaming up with Nerds Vote to encourage everyone to vote this November? I actually don't know if the cast even know that, so it's like a legit question.
You could have told us.
What's that?
You could have told us.
I did tell you. You just never show up on the Discord during the week. Every new membership, every single shipment, and every giveaway, including on this show until October 23rd, will come with a exclusive limited edition, the fourth place and Nerds Vote collab sticker. So it's a big old 4-inch Nerds Vote sticker with a little bit of fourth place bling and twist onto it that we came up with together with the folks at Nerds Vote. You'll also see I'm posting a bit about it and even running some ads just to encourage y'all to vote. Turns out Facebook makes you jump through some hoops to even ask people to vote. But I thought now was a good time to remind people everybody's doing it to a degree, but I think that being part of that relentless drumbeat is important right now so that we don't decide that it's not important enough to get out and vote. I don't care how you vote. I mean, I might care, but the company doesn't care, and the campaign I'm running doesn't care. The most important thing in a democracy is that people go exercise that right duty by getting out there to vote. I'm rambling, but you have a chance to win one of those stickers. I can't show you now because they're in the mail, but I'm pretty proud of them. So now I want to catch you up on where we left the heroes, which they all alluded at. So I'm going to do a shorter version that doesn't include the whole history. But recently, the party were separated after being attacked by a group of mysterious monks intent on taking Miraja away for her own sake, maybe, but reunited in the nearby city of Colophon, known for vibrant trade and most of all for unparalleled scholarship and philosophy, and possibly some bullshit adjacent to those things. They met the charismatic centaur Chiron, the bookish dark elf Critias, and the practical tiefling Sana, who were looking over our now unconscious and completely intangible dreamfolk friend Miraja, who seems to have been affected by coming into this world. Maybe there was some truth behind what the monks were saying. Unable to move her to treat her, the heroes and their new acquaintances ended up, quite to my surprise, setting up an epic nap tent where dreamers are working tirelessly, no, wrong words, but definitely sleeping and dreaming to stabilize Miraja so she doesn't disappear or fade away entirely, which may lead to a permanent fixture in this town, depending on whether they can solve the problem otherwise. Refreshed after a nap of their own, our heroes went to talk to the scholarly Critias in his sunken tower, which is to say his inverted tower, which is to say his hole, to discuss what to do with and what was the nature of the prophecies and their physical embodiments that the party came upon or rescued from the Hall of Prophecy in the realm of dreams. As I recall, and as was hinted at in our intros, Dimma was curious as heck because it's nerdy stuff. Lamia was interested because she wants to destroy them, and the other two had gotten kind of bored with all the nerd talk and had started to head out into the town. The last thing Colophon said was that he was going to have to research this. So I think what I'll do is pick us up coming out in sort of two groups.
Surely the last thing Critias said.
What did I say?
Colophon said.
Oh, that's really weird. That's nonsense. I've even known Critias for a long time. I'm sorry, dude. Last thing Critias said was that it would take some research. So let's start, assuming that two of the party left first. Nico and Tanya, you have exited a hole in a hill overlooking a beautiful seaside town. The world is your mollusk. What are you going to do?
Well, I think at this point Nico's probably finished off all his snacks. And he's gonna turn to Tanya and say, "So, do you think they're gonna need help building a more permanent structure around Miraja?"
That's possible.
Yeah, she was under a roof, so there was a big stone forum with a roofed area and just sort of columns around it. But you're right, there was just sort of a temporary tent structure with lots of cushions and beds piled into it. So there's some possibilities there.
Well, we could see if they need any help there. And like Tanya will kind of like point at like these like halberds that are like sticking out of her shell. We also have some supplies we should probably sell. Maybe we can pick up some equipment along the way as well for whatever it is that they need.
Yeah, let's go get that, taken care of, and then we can talk to the rest of the town council and stuff.
Yeah, if I recall, you two are carrying 90% of the bulk, maybe 99% of the bulk of all the stuff that you've collected on the adventure so far.
Except for that creepy thing that
some of the smaller, more magical and valuable stuff, maybe with other people, but I'm pretty sure that all the like armor and weapons and junk and most of the
I have all magical stuff too.
Oh, that's right.
Tanya also already offloaded the bedrolls into the tent because that made sense.
Nicely done. So you two are thinking of headed down into the town. So you are overlooking, it's the afternoon, you got plenty of daylight left, heading down into this town from the hills above it. The sea is glistening in front of you. There's that big central building that sort of dominates the center of the town, and then lots of mostly sort of cylindrical buildings dotting and rolling over the hills going down from where you are.
We saw some places that looked like they were like markety areas before, didn't we?
The place where the tent is set up seems to be sort of the central town square, which means there seems to be some sort of farmer's market, but with philosophers action going on and some other sort of vendors. But that was also near streets where there were some more, less residential looking buildings.
Yeah.
As you came through.
Well, I
that
just
was the
remember
city.
I thought Tanya made a note of a place that looked like they sold weapons.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Okay.
But there are you certainly have an opportunity to investigate for such things.
All right. I mean, I guess if I just see somebody in the street, like Nico is gonna say, "Excuse me, where would we go if we want to sell these halberds or buy things that are like halberds?"
Do you have
Tanya helpfully points at the tip of the halberds in her
all
shell.
these here? This
Yeah, no, like the first passerby that Nico thinks will stop to answer their question.
Yeah, it's a teenage girl who is let's say a dragonborn. Poles specifically, or tools, weapons.
Yeah, weapons.
Okay, because we don't have a pole store. There isn't really a weapons only store in town. You may find some traders who come in on ships in the agora, or probably maybe Lucas's provisions might buy that sort of thing. They've got a lot of space.
Oh, which way to Lucas's?
It's down by the agora. You want to take a block away from the sea, and then ramble some other instructions that aren't pertinent, but that you can remember. Gives you a rough estimate of where Lucas's provisions might be.
And would Tanya have because Tanya travels this Bay Area all the time. Like, it wouldn't be unheard of for her to be, a couple blocks off the seashore.
No, yeah, I think it's entirely up to you, but I could imagine you have been here before, and I will keep that in mind. So
Tanya would maybe be like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Like maybe she hasn't been to Colophon in like a little while, but like
things clear. Yeah.
Would have a memory of that place.
Why don't you make a history check so we can see just the degree of your memory of this particular place? I like dice. I like giving away stickers.
I rolled a 16.
You got a total of a 16, or do you remember?
Yeah,
okay.
Total
got a 16. Oh yeah, so with the 16, you've been by Lucas's provisions. You've probably picked up some camp equipment there. But it is a widely stocked, almost like a warehouse. And now
like the Costco.
Well, let me describe. I guess so. Let's say you find it with the instructions plus your memory. There's a shop front superimposed on what is clearly a much bigger building. And when you go inside, what you see is a quaint little shop, kind of a quaint little cluttered shop that just happens to be the size of a warehouse. It just kind of keeps going. And so someone here has had a long time to collect a little bit of everything. And there is a young person in green with pointed ears at the at the sort of the front counter, behaving as if this is an entirely smaller store, and they appear to be the only person in here when you enter in the afternoon. And they say, "Hey, welcome to Lucas's."
Thank you. Are you Lucas?
Oh no, Lucas was my father.
Oh, okay. I'm Nicodemus, and this is Tanya. What's your name? Is it Luke Jr.? I'm saying that out of game.
No, I'm Daffodil.
Oh, hi Daffodil. So we came upon these halberds, and we were wondering if we could sell them to you.
You want to sell? Well, what do you? Yeah, we could probably. What's up with those hooks on them?
We don't know.
That's different. Come with me. Let's take a look and see what we got. And this person is sort of distracted and wanders back and shows you where sort of a bunch of other weapons are. And there's definitely no two that are the same. And there's, for some reason, there are maybe a dozen halberds in this general supply store of different ages and provenances, different types of design. There's a lot in here. It's like, what if Hoarder but clean? it's just there's just a whole lot, you know, and there's ladders climbing up shelves, and there's make a perception check.
That's a 12 for Tanya.
Let's see.
I bet
11.
if you get a nat 20, you'll find out Daffodil's actually a dragon.
I got an 11.
Furiously scribbles notes. Okay. So with those rolls, yeah, the place is real big. It's really well organized. Like, you've never seen a place with so much that's so neat, and it just goes back and back and back. Because Nico, you have to look up a little to see the halberds where they are for some reason. You notice that there's just like nice vines and things growing at some of the higher levels of this place, that there's living things. Somehow this place is absolutely cluttered and absolutely alive, and yet not filthy. But yeah, we have room for a few more halberds. These are unique. I've never bought two of the same thing before. Well, with pole arms, obviously. How'd you get so many?
Tanya nervously looks at Nico.
Somebody attacked us, and this was what they left behind.
So they were organized. Well, that's neat. Well, let's go back and I'll take a look at the book, and we can see if we can figure out. Do you have anything else you want to sell? We should probably do this all at once if you got a bunch of regular
Tanya's
equipment.
like pulling the halberds out like all awkwardly, and then we'll also like pull out. There's I assume that we would have already talked as a group. Does anybody here need leather armor? Is that something that anybody would have wanted?
Yeah, I'm cool with a little bit of meta. Like, we talked about this while we were camping. If there's
I
anything
mean,
you want to
we would have had plenty of time to talk about it.
I
Sorry,
wasn't aware that we were that we had talked as a group about this, so I think I wear leather armor.
There's, if I recall, there's nothing. Well, actually, having said we shouldn't get into Roll20, I may get in there just to because I think that's where I kept the inventory list, the party inventory. So bear with me for just a minute.
Because I have 3 sets of leather armor and 3 halberds on me. But like, if you aren't wearing leather armor and that would be helpful to you, like, I would have offloaded one onto you already for sure.
I have leather light armor.
Yeah, that's what I have.
11, 10 pounds.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
think
okay.
I can look, but I don't think there was armor that was light armor that was better than that. I think it was just some light armor.
Yeah, it was just some regular leather armor, which you already have.
I assume that D&D hasn't changed so much that a wizard would be wearing leather armor, right?
Leather armor is light armor, so I think wizards can wear it. You will have a proficiency of a type of armor now, so there is some possibility. Yeah.
Spellcasters wear armor now? I'm so confused.
I mean, the warlock is.
Leather.
Can. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I
This is
just
great.
saw that warlocks do. It says here wizards do not.
Oh, okay.
Great.
No,
That's
okay.
a relief.
None. Okay, gotcha.
Eric, if you did have proficiency in it, it would say it in the proficiency in languages box on D&D Beyond.
Thank
There
you.
would be an armor thing that says which one, like
I
armor
see.
and shields if you had them.
D&D Beyond, sponsor us.
Yeah.
Here's the
oh,
4
here,
worlds.
I
Not
found
yet sponsored by D&D Beyond.
That's right. We're famously not yet sponsored. Well, I guess we're sponsored by the 4th place. That's me. Okay, so here I found the stuff that you've got. Some of it. So we had given out individual stuff in your inventory, so there isn't a party inventory. But what you got recently was from the monks 3 sets of leather armor, 3 hooked pole arms, some gold and gems.
Yep. I wrote down the gold that we got,
Yep.
and I thought I held on to the gems. I don't see them in my inventory thing. Or did I already liquidate them into gold?
I wrote down that I don't think you did that math yet, but I did write down that the gems are with Nico/party, meaning Nico on behalf of the party fund.
Oh, okay.
As is 17 gold, which I don't think you handed out. And then Tanya.
I put the 17 gold in my inventory. That part I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nico would, drop the gems down and and pull out the stuff like the spike, the gladius, the ambulance circle. I'm like, we're not ready to sell these. We were just wondering if you knew what these did, because they seem to be more than what they appear to be.
Oh, well, this is more of a general goods store, and we take that pretty broadly, but I'm not a wizard. Let's see.
So, then let's not worry about those.
but
But
you-
the gems, would you be interested in those?
I mean, they're very shiny, which I do appreciate. Why are they all blue?
Why are they all blue? I don't know. They were left behind by the people who attacked us.
Left?
And Tanya's like, why is the sky blue? Why is water blue? Why?
Lots of things are blue.
Look, this is a very weird art class you all brought me into.
Okay, so you got these. You're putting down, I assume, the armor, the pole arms, the gems, and the magic items. Okay, yep. Well, armor's always useful. These seem like a nice variety of sizes. I like the way they're the same, but not the same. I could probably buy those off of you. Sort of like starts to like do a little scribbling. You got 3 of these funky hooked pole arms. I wonder if maybe, I don't know, they match. It's a little strange, but I guess I could do it. And gems, and pulls out actually first pulls out like a drawer and roots around, and then pulls out stares at the drawer in like bafflement for a good 10 seconds, and then goes, oh heck, and scoops a bunch of things and says, it's probably in here somewhere, and dumps a handful of stuff from the drawer and starts to spread it around until it's spread apart enough that it's not clutter, and then says, oh, okay, and then pulls out 2 different jeweler's scope things, puts them in both eyes, realizes that's not helpful, puts the brass one down, keeps this sort of engraved silver one, just literally just pulls everything into this drawer and kind of awkwardly closes it, and looks at the gems and says, ooh, well, they are all blue. I knew that. They're gems. I'm not really an expert on gems, but they seem nice.
It was
But looking very
correct.
close, looking very like cartoonishly serious at them, and realizing that they don't know anything about gems. Here's what we could do. We like to give trade in credit. So for, let's see, starts to scribble and do some math, which I'm also going to do.
Wait. Oh, hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Why don't we the gems? Why don't we bring them to a jeweler instead? Since we're still not sure what they are.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like trading in credit because I think I would like different armor. That this is kind of pinching on me, and he's like pointing to his ring mail. Like, I would love to trade this in and get a different set of armor.
Well, I'll tell you what then. For the 3 pole arms and the leather armor, I could do, let's say, 90 gold in store credit or 50 in cash.
All right. I mean, that sounds fair. Did you include this ring mail that I'll definitely sell you?
Oh, well, let me look that up. And now I have to go look up ring mail. Let's see, ring mail. Another 25 gold in store credit or 15 in cash.
All right, so that would make a total of 115 in store credit. Does that sound fair, Tanya?
Tanya will nod her head.
Yeah, let's do that.
The young elf-like person sort of looks like a little confused by this reaction. Make an insight check.
Me?
Either of you.
All right, insight.
It's 22.
Solid.
16.
All right. Yeah. So Tanya realizes they were waiting for you to haggle, and you were just like, "Yep, we'll take it." So they're like a little okay, 115 in store credit, and gets out another book, realizes it's the wrong book, pulls a book off of a shelf that looks more right, flips it open, says this'll work, and writes, "What's your names?"
I'm Nicodemus, and that's Tanya.
Nicodemus and Tanya, 115. All right. Just go find whatever else you need. And while you think about what you want, I'm going to cut to the other 2. Lamia and Dimma are coming out of the tower, a few minutes behind the others. So you've got the description of kind of looking down into the town. Where would the two of you look to head?
Before we like cut over, I
Okay.
feel like I feel like Lamia would be like a haggler, and I feel like Tanya would know this and like lean over to Nico and be like, "Let's not tell your sister that we didn't haggle."
Let's not
I mean,
tell your yeah.
That's on her for not being here.
This whole interaction, I was like, "You want to sell things without me?"
Okay, so in the cartoon version of this, or the TV version, right? All this happens. You lean over and say, "Let's not tell your sister that we didn't haggle," and then we cut to, I'm gonna say Lamia with like a piercing like look off into the distance, as if she's really taking in this scene and really strategizing, right, as they walk out of this tower overlooking the town. So sorry. What is that?
Just to clarify, we did. It was the leather armor, the halberd, and the ringmail we sold. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And for anyone wondering at home, they only got slightly less than book value because they took it in store credit, so they didn't do too badly. But there was an opportunity to haggle. So Lamia and Dimo, what are you either saying to each other, or where are you thinking of heading, each of you?
Dimma, do you want to start off? Because I have an idea of what I want to do.
Go for it.
Okay. So I realized that I haven't been very good at the relaxing part. What I had been intending to do this whole time, and yet I've been working myself to the bone. So I think I'm just going to go head down to the beach and see what relaxing feels like.
Oh, I like it. All right, so you walk through town. There are a couple of big stone wharfs that kind of go out into the sea from the shore at kind of funny angles, creating sort of a harbor area. And there's individual wooden docks. They're huge, and individual wooden docks off of each of them, and they all come to the shore just a couple of blocks from the agora. And there's a lot of like trading and miscellaneous. And let's see. Yeah, so as you're coming down on that, you can kind of see that there's a lot of trade and not a lot of fun. But that off to either side, there are restaurants with tables set up outside, and there are people, kind of kids running and playing, and that kind of eat in two different directions kind of goes down to the beach outside the wharf. So you would sort of see those options very similar in either direction.
Yeah.
So
can I how beach are we talking? Like, can I get like a coconut drink and like go down to the beach?
Well, you can definitely get like seaside stuff. So let's go see. So you're looking for like a coconut drink, a bar kind of thing near the beach.
No.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like a coconut that's like chopped open, or I'm looking for like grilled fish or something.
Like vendor. Oh yeah. This place is yeah. So basically, yeah. If you go pick a side. It doesn't really matter. To next to one of the wharfs, headed in the Beachley direction, things very quickly become like beach trade. It's trade. It's little carts, things like that set up. And so, yeah, you find, let's see, what'll be a good way to do this? Yeah. So you find a couple of goblins who have a little sort of shack built on the top of a very giant turtle that they are kind of trying to steer. And in that shack, they've got like heaps of fruit. They've got bottles of liquor, and one of them's job seems to be to talk to the public, and the other one's job seems to be to keep everything from falling off the turtle as it slowly meanders sort of around the beach area.
I draw attention that there was no one assigned to steer the turtle. Which sounds right to me. I just wanted to,
Yep. And so one of them says, "Hey!" When you seem to be staring at them for a second.
Hey!
Fruit? Juice? Liquor? Probably some pastries back here.
Sure.
Pay up.
How much?
I I'll look you over. Gold coin.
By the way, how does our money work? Do we have multiple types?
Yeah, so I'm gonna, for the sake of this game, this is a good point to mention that you have amounts of money, and I am not going to make change making happen. So
I'm just trying to see where my money might be in this character.
So gold is the big currency. A silver coin is 1/10 of a gold, and a copper is 100th of a gold.
If you're on D&D Beyond, go under equipment, and it should show up on your top right above where it says manage equipment, and it'll indicate which type they all are.
Because I have 0.
Well, then you never added any to your character sheet.
You probably should have had a little from your background.
Yeah, so backgrounds usually are what give you gold.
Yeah. My background gave me nothing.
I think your background, because I wrote it, I think it did have some gold in it.
What? No.
Let me bring it up. This is fun.
Am I poor?
You're probably a little poor because you didn't really need money, so it would be like
probably swipe some from your mom before you left.
Yeah, my guess is, well, let's see.
Right, so like for comparison, right? I have 3 gold and 7 silver. That being said, I'm aware that the party is throwing around them much larger amounts, and so I would not be worried about spending a gold coin on something.
I'm not going to spend a gold coin on something. No.
Yeah. So you would know enough about the currency to know that was a little bit optimistic.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they didn't specify what you would get. They just said gold coin. So that might make this sort of an all-you-can-eat type joint, or there could be some haggling to be done.
Yeah. So, do I have money?
Yeah, I'm sorry. While we were doing that, I'm just trying to find your background so I can see what you're supposed to roll for money.
I can't haggle until
you are
I know
a rakish bastard.
That is me.
Oh wait, no, you don't get money. You get stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. But there's some party money, so I think it's safe to say that you've got a couple of gold coins on you. We'll say for now.
I mean, like, because I never did any sort of exchange. Otherwise, I'd be telling them to haggle better.
Yeah.
And I would have made sure to put illusions on the things I sold.
Yeah, that's true. Roll a d4.
Okay. I got 2.
2. So you have the equivalent of 2 gold.
Okay.
Because you would have some walking around money, just from living in a temple.
Okay, I have
God privilege.
2 gold, and I don't feel like spending half of my fortune on food.
So as you dig around in your pockets and you're looking for your gold and you're looking a little dubious, get all you can eat for a gold, as long as you can follow us today. Offer valid while supplies last.
A drink for 2 copper.
A drink for 2 copper would be coconut water. Stuff.
Coconut water is perfect.
Okay. Puts out a sort of a knobbly hand for your money first.
Do I only have full gold pieces, or does this break down?
Oh yeah, no. I'm assuming making change is not fun, and that you can always make change.
Okay, so
yeah,
like
so you can plug down the 2 copper and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not interested in fantasy money changing.
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm like, am I about to get ripped off and they run away on a turtle? Like, yeah, I put out 2 copper.
All right, coconut water, and the one that's sort of like okay, takes a coconut, has this like strange contraption that looks like just a kind of a big ugly iron blade with a sort of a something going on. Sets a cup in this rudimentary contraption and goes ha, and the liquid sort of goes into this contraption and seems to fill this sort of cheap bamboo cup. and then that goblin sort of climbs down and says, "Ma'am," and hands you this cheap bamboo cup
Thank
full
you.
of very fresh coconut water. And then oh shit! And scrambles back up as the tower is leaning and is grabbing one bottle with one hand and holding on to the sort of a handle, the railing with another, and with a foot kind of catches the coconut juicer. And scrambles to get everything under control. Says, "Get this thing under control!" And between them, the turtle sort of calms down and rights itself. And it was moving sort of. So you've had to like imagine a conversation at a cart that does not stop rolling and that is not being steered by a human being. You're sort of having to like walk along occasionally, stop when it stops. But you get some coconut water. He gets his 2 copper pieces.
Oh, this is so...
And now you're further along the beach, and there are a bunch of halfling kids running around. A couple of them are naked, and their parents are running, screaming after them, like, "No! Whoa, wait, no!" And there's just beach activity going on. It seems like it's sort of family oriented for the most part on this side. People sitting with... you see someone walking by with this like copper canister that looks weirdly frosted and has like steam coming off of it. And they're like trying to sip, and they get the stuck for a second on the cup, and then they think better, and they grab the spoon that's in it, and you can see that there's some sort of a like slushy, like semi-frozen sort of food in there, like something brightly colored. And yeah, this is the beach. What do you do now that you've got your coconut drink?
I think I'm going to sit on the beach and dig my feet in the sand and try and do this thing that people call relaxing, which, let's be real, I've never really done this before, and I don't really know how one's supposed to do it.
Yep.
So just imagine like an angsty Lamia sitting down and being like, "Relax."
This is the time on my schedule where I have allotted myself to relax, and now I have 30 minutes to relax.
Basically. So like, while she's attempting to relax, let's jump over to
I love it.
This sounds oddly like Nico trying to nap for the betterment of his friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, before we cut, Dimma, what are you doing in all of this? Sort of, I assume.
Oh yeah, no, I actually
Emma, so
Yeah.
Right. So right. Lamia mentions about going to the beach to relax, and Dimma's like, "Sounds good, but I've been enough time being involved with rays on the beach, so I'm gonna find something else to do." And I think, Dimma has some plans, but most of them are going to require talking to the whole party about. So I'm going to intentionally not get to that yet.
Okay. Did Dimma go with Lamia to a point, or did Dimma head off in a different direction?
I think probably as far as the Agora, that whole big area there, and then split off there because that's where there's lots of people. I heard that there were some people getting ready to play mental chess, just like kind of hanging around.
Yeah, in all sorts of different ways. In fact, I'm trying to think let's see. At the time, there were there was like a rapid fire debate stage.
Yeah.
Think, sort of. There were little tables. There were a couple of old people set up with them, multiple chairs in front of them, and instead of the little cardboard sign, instead of saying chess, said debate me.
That's not quite my speed.
But there were all sorts of weird types in the Agora. So are you exploring the Agora? Or should I just give you a few?
I think I'm exploring the Agora.
Okay. So there's the big tent now, which sort of dominates the space. It's about a third of the inside of the Agora, probably. But there are still a number of, again, there were these sort of stone slabs that seem to be built into the place. And there are merchants set up on some of those and on sort of carts and tables that have been dragged in. But again, it's a mix of merchants and like temporary traders and philosophers and alchemists and all sorts of things. At the moment, one of the halflings you saw before is standing up on a stool at one of the other stone tables and has sort of an alchemy kit set up and seems to be almost performing, as in like doing things that are kind of flashy and the colors are changing and different colored smokes coming out and lights are happening and there are a number of kids sort of watching that. Not clear whether there's any money changing hands or just someone kind of showing off. There is a cart rolling in which catches your attention, being pulled by some sort of a pair of giant lizards with a pair of lizard folk sitting on the front, kind of driving it, and a smaller, younger lizard person on the back, sort of riding along, heaped with barrels of some sort. And they're starting to say, liquor, booze. And then the other one sort of jabs and says, fine wine and spirits from all over the coast.
Do either of these seem to have notable effects on the people? I definitely know there are some more coarse towns where, indeed, if you drive in with a cart full of barrels of liquor and you shout out booze, you will immediately be swamped.
No, here everything is there is. Once had a friend described attention deficit disorder as being the opposite of the truth, because the problem is not that there is not enough attention, but that there is too much. Mm-hmm. And this is a place that bears that out. There are so many interesting things and people of such different interests that you watch people ignore very loud, colorful explosions, and people ignore alcohol. But at the same time, there are people who are totally enraptured in someone who is finally carving books into sculptures.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So intense variety. Let's see. So you got a book sculptor, someone who's taking journals, empty books, and carving them into shapes so that when they open, they create sort of like a cliff face or artwork. You got your the lizard folk family has like pulled a folding table off the side of the cart and is just setting up in a spot that was open enough. Getting people to back off. Hey, no, don't rush us too much. And people aren't rushing them that much, but there's a little bit of theater going on there. As they set up, and and suddenly like scroll works of tapestries are coming up, and it's getting like made into this sort of little miniature showroom for some of this stuff. The female is banging really nice shiny metal like taps into a couple of barrels that are on the table already, and is starting to fill up little tiny stemware with samples. It's just a very active place.
Yep. Okay. I think Dim is gonna look around and see if anything catches their eye from like unresolved questions from last time they were incarnated. I'd love to have something on the tip of my tongue. I don't right now.
I see. Yep. So you.
I am. There's nothing to do, quite possibly, with anything that's happened so far. This is just a kind of way to get a flavor of the place. I could imagine if I've been wondering, like, how is a raven like a writing desk? Like, and if I could find someone here who seems like they might be up to date on the latest mortal thinking on how a raven is like a writing desk.
Oh, I see. Yep. So do this. Make an insight check and a history check to represent kind of your luck at what you uncover.
Yep. Sounds good. Except I don't have roll 20 open, so I'll be.
You can do that directly in D&D Beyond too.
Okay. So you say an insight check?
I think you could. Well, you may have to flip a switch to turn on the dice in D&D Beyond, but they're
it's plus 6, and the other one is history. You said plus 4. Yeah, I'll just do these. Okay.
Hello, Claudia.
Oh no.
Hello, dog.
Oh, here. All right. Insight is 17. History is 8.
All right. So with that result, you don't get anything that directly relates to your memories of past incarnations, but with an insight check, you see Chiron debating or discussing something quietly with
that's unusual.
Yes, with a satyr and an elf. they're just standing in the agora, probably not far from the new big tent.
Yeah, I'll wander over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly hiding, but I'm also not actively drawing attention to myself.
A little bit of
I'm not one of these
eavesdropping,
demigods
but
after
not
all.
with an active stealth roll. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. I understand what you're saying, Stephen, but at the same time, I don't think we should draw too much attention to the visitors, despite how do I say this, unique they appear to be. I think it could be rude of us to draw attention to them or to acknowledge that we understand. I just think that the town could profit from the situation, that we may not want to spoil our acquaintance with these newcomers. And the satyr sort of stomps a hoof in response to that, kind of humps, but doesn't really argue. And the elf person, who you would recognize as a fey elf, a true elf, a high elf, is listening intently, is not directly engaging in this debate, but they are watching both of these two to see how this conversation plays out as well. And they turn.
That's actually
okay.
Yeah, I would say that's actually interesting enough that I think, like, once I realize they're talking about us, I think I would actually try to actively hide and eavesdrop.
Okay, so you make a stealth check.
Yeah.
And I think I'll grab a real d20 for some of these rolls, because I don't have character sheets for all these folks. I'm just going to need some random ass dice.
My stealth, of course, is +2, so I'm not known for my stealthiness. This is going to be hilarious.
Y'all really have the wrong people for this.
Yeah.
I love this. How'd you do on stealth?
I got a 12.
A 12. The others don't see you, but the elf watches you duck behind something and smiles very sort of serenely. Smiles in a way that there should be a wink that goes with it, but there's no actual wink.
Yep.
Yep. And
I'm fine with
says,
that.
and says, as if to distract the others, very interesting. Apropos of almost nothing having been said.
Yep.
So just to sort of speed through the conversation, you get the impression that Chiron is maybe in a formal position of authority, but certainly is the decision maker.
I think we believe Chiron is, yeah.
Yeah, you've gotten that impression before, and that pans out with this conversation. The other person doesn't appear to be anything besides someone with an opinion who is used to being listened to, the satyr, certainly someone of some influence, you would guess. And the elf appears to be there because they're with, they were in the agora, or they seem to be in some way socially attached to the satyr.
Okay. If the group splits up, I'll go chat with the elf. If not, then I'm thinking, after I've heard this, I distinctly would like to regroup with the others when I have the chance, and so we'll kind of would vaguely go looking for them.
Yep. So the other things you'll pick up on as this conversation goes on is they do seem to acknowledge that there are demigods, and they talk around, but they seem to be referring to you obliquely as something special that they're all aware of. They don't say the name in your case. They do say various references to the other two being demigods. They just seem to recognize it. There seems to be a sense that when big things happen, there's big opportunities in general. The world may be about to be changing, and it may be changing around them for good or for ill. No one seems like paranoid or like wanting to get rid of you in town.
Ian?
Yes.
Like, every day that I've been in this town, I've been disguised, sans for when I'm sleeping. Like, if we were rolling over from last game, I should be Nika, apparently.
That's fair. Yeah, so demigod. You're right. Yep.
Okay.
No, it's a good point. Yep. But yeah, so they definitely picked up on Nico. You're right. I forgot that you were disguised the whole time. Yep.
Oh, you were discussed as me, in fact, right? As
Was that you?
Yeah.
At one point, I was Nico, and I probably got like beat or scowled at. So I guess I'm you now, Dima.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You were Nico. You were Dima, and you were your own prisoner. Or
So
before they
two
were.
Dimas.
Yeah.
And
And actually, Dima, another thing you'll notice is you haven't seen much higher order magic being done at all here.
Oh, I've noticed that.
You haven't seen anything above like a utility cantrip the whole time you've been here.
Yep. No, that's how they reacted to when we were doing very simple magic over at the sleeping place.
Yep.
So this backs that up.
Yep. So eventually, the conversation breaks up. The issue is that Chiron stays where he is, sort of lording over the agora, sort of generally as if it's his party. And the other two walk off together.
Okay.
But should you watch them, the elf makes an excuse for some sort of a distraction. Stops at a vendor, let's say a jeweler, and says, "I'll be along shortly." And it's they're wearing elegant silver jewelry, and this jeweler is selling like wooden beads and big ornate earrings made out of shells, and very, very different style entirely. And once their companion or friend is some distance away, sort of looks directly at you and smiles. Almost looks through you.
Yep. Yeah. I'll come over.
Welcome. What are you doing in our little town?
Thank you. I am not entirely sure myself.
There's sort of a pause there. I'm not entirely sure. Been a long time since you've been here, hasn't it?
Yes.
You don't. What do you think you and your friends will do?
I'll look around a little bit conspiratoriously / theatrically.
They react positively towards that. They ham it up too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, to lean in and say, well, change the world sounds a little bit overwrought.
Sometimes one cannot help it. Speaking dramatically, or the wake that one leaves behind oneself. Interesting. They seem to be thinking. This town can get caught up in its own ideas. This town struggles against falling into a pattern that it will maintain forever given the chance.
Dynamic equilibrium.
It would be interesting to see what happened if enough changes were made here, how it would react and what new equilibrium it would fall into. I should be going. I don't want my friend to miss me. Perhaps we will talk again. It's been fascinating to make your acquaintance.
And likewise. I didn't catch your name?
No, you didn't. Good day. And this elf, very politely, very, very friendly, sort of chases off as if, wait, don't leave me. And it's suddenly much more casual with their satyr friend. And with that, it is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is traditionally when one might take a 15-minute break from the show. When we come back, I think we will want to rejoin Tanya and Nico. You guys are also welcome to think of next things you want to explore in this town, or I can start rolling some more stuff at you as well. So we can mull that over during the break. I'll probably pick up asking Tanya and Nico what they are going to do in the shop next. And perhaps get the party together or move on to other locations as you like. So for the viewers, this stream will briefly stop and be replaced by one that says we'll be back soon. And then that will briefly stop when we are back soon. See you all at about 8:15 or a couple minutes after. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Heroes of Four Worlds. This episode brought to you by chicken. It's so good, you guys. I squeeze my dinner break into our bio break. We are back with the party. I'm going to start, if I remember correctly, we left Lamia on the beach trying desperately to relax. So, Lamia, tell us what that looks like.
So I'll remind you all from last session that I had Mask of Many Faces into Dimma, and I never Mask of Many Faces from Dimma. So you see this very, very frustrated Fey man, who is definitely not me in all of my leather armored glory, like on the beach, lying down. Mask of Many Faces, sunglasses on. Mask of Many Faces, sunglasses off. This isn't going well. Tossing, turning. Am I tanning? Am I tanning it? I'm already tan.
With the illusion of not tan over it.
Rolling onto the stomach.
No one gave you a really big book that you totally intended to read. That's the key you're missing.
Drink the coconut water. Dump the coconut water on my head. It's still not feeling refreshed.
Now feeling slightly sticky.
In my full Dimma glory, wading into the water to wash off the stickiness and just kind of poofing my clothes dry because I can.
As I recall, Dimma is generally portrayed with very like loose-fitting, flowing green robes, which of course don't necessarily Mask of Many Faces float in the water because you're actually wearing, I think, like relatively practical tight leather. So there's like a weird like. I'm imagining like a weird kind of like illusion glitch here.
No, this sounds like the illusion works, but I'm just like Dimma with wet t-shirt contest going on right now.
That's also a possibility. Wet elf contest.
Yep.
Yes. Anyway, like I use that. What is it? The drying spell.
Prestidigitation.
If you have prestidigitation, you can dry yourself.
Kind of in flavor.
Yeah.
So like prestidigitation, myself dry, like all harumphy, and just kind of like. Maybe even getting a bit more of Dimma than I'm intending to, because I'm kind of like salty now and like preening myself out of the water. And in a bit of a huff, being like, this isn't working, and I'm just going to kind of think of where I might be able to find something a tad more interesting.
It's not working. All right. Yep.
And I'm going to huff off to the Agora because something will happen there.
By that, you pass by the goblin cart again, and they say, "No refunds. Have a nice day."
I am going to politely, like, princess wave at them.
Let's see. So you make your way back to the Agora, would be probably past the wharf. So you do see a lot of activity going on. You see something kind of cool. You see a ship heavy with cargo that's being loaded out. And it is clear that what it is just books. Probably more books than anyone has ever seen in this world in one place at one time. An entire cargo ship laden with books. And like you could tell because as they're unloading them, you know, there's someone inspecting them and cracking open, or has already cracked open a crate, and they're just like astonished with just like and they're all identical, which is unusual. It's just a bunch of leather-bound, like you know, medieval style actual books, not scrolls or anything. You see families starting to wander towards off the beach, actually towards some of the seaside restaurants. It's getting late in the afternoon by now, and so you see places that are sort of putting out candles onto their outside tables, preempting the dark that may fall. Not right away, but trying to attract some custom. And back at the Agora, let's see. So there's a
Regarding the book thing,
yeah. Actually, go ahead.
I'm just going to look at that and be like, mutter to myself out loud, like, man, it'd be really out of character if I didn't check that out right now.
Do you say that like in like Dimma, like doing Dimma's voice kind of thing?
I mean, like, as Dimma as I can get as Mastermind Faces, I don't think it actually changes my voice.
I don't think it does
But,
either.
I'm fake Dimma, so I really ought to check out those books.
What a fascinating effect.
And what a fascinating event.
We become the mask we wear, yada yada. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, no, but like, go over and just at the very least ask them what it is so I can go and tell real Dimma later, because I figure real Dimma will be interested.
Oh, so what is the book?
Why is there so many of the same book? Like, what's going on?
Oh, well, this is the encyclopedia. This is the first book that is attempting to be a useful little library in one place.
Can I see?
Sure. And sort of this is like, there's like an inspector, like we're supposed to be, but this like the very salesy sort of person who is but has been talking with the inspector, pulls out a set of we'll say 6 volumes, good sized books. They're all about the same, but they are volumes 1 through 6, and it says the encyclopedia. This is all the knowledge we could find packed into the biggest collection of books ever put together in the world. 6 volumes. We're hoping to get sponsors and spokespersons here in the City of Wisdom. Would you like one?
Yes, I would love one. That definitely seems like a honorable endeavor.
A set sold here directly from us, once we've cleared custom, of course, would be 2 gold.
It is a shame. I will have to browse your wares at a later point.
Oh, well, we hope to be setting up shop in the Agora, or if there aren't tables available there, you will find us somewhere between here and there shortly, just as soon as I get sorted out where my brother is, and we get through this. Oh, yes, no, yes. I'm sorry. I have to. I should deal with custom. I'm sorry for ignoring you, ma'am. And turns back to the customs officer.
Let us talk again after you have cleared customs. I will absolutely come back.
If you can't find us here, find us in the Agora. Look for and like sort of turns the cover of the first volume, and there's a big old E on it, embossed in gold. Look for this. We have a banner somewhere around here that will hang at our table. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be the biggest thing.
Sounds wonderful, and I'm going to walk away and just kind of like mutter. Man, like why? Man, why does Nico have to hold all the money?
Because he's the only one that thought about it?
Basically, but like going to the Agora, and that'll be the end of
that's a perfect cut to Nico. So Nico and Tanya, we last saw them in Lucas's General Goods. There were goods. There were generally a lot of them. You had gotten a store credit. Are you going to pick up anything now, or are you?
No, unless there's anything Tanya wants. But no, Nico's just going to be like, oh, let's just double check with the other group that don't want anything else, and maybe go find a jeweler or something like that. We're going to chat about this on their way to the Agora.
Yeah, I don't think Tanya really needs a lot of supplies right now, and so she's happy with trying to just find a jeweler for us to figure out what some of these things are that we picked up.
Well, actually, if you discuss that in front of Daffodil, Daffodil would say, "Oh, there is a jeweler who's down by down in a stall in the Agora. You may not notice it because they have black velvet set up so that the light doesn't get through. But if you see a black velvet sort of little miniature tent, just knock. Well, don't knock. I guess. Announce yourself there. Well, yeah, that's probably the best jeweler I know in town, unless you're lucky enough to have one of the traders come in from the islands with fresh gems, and then you might get more jewelers in town.
Ah, all right. Thank you so much, Daffodil. We'll be back.
Don't forget to come back. It would be a shame if I had to simply absorb all of that store credit.
Tanya will also say thank you, and we'll kind of like take one of her little turtle hands and like pat Daffodil's shoulder in that Midwestern auntie way.
Are we saying that Dragonborns eat gems here?
We weren't saying that. Daffodil's an elf.
An elf.
Yes,
Okay.
Daffodil was the elf, not the teenager that was bumped into before, who was a teenage dragonborn.
Gotcha.
Daffodil's an elf wearing all green, and I
imagine a little pointed felt hat.
Yes, a little pointed felt hat, reddish hair.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know the type.
Yep. Yep. I should go find my sibling. It's been lovely meeting you.
See you again soon. And they're walking towards the agora, looking for this velvet tent.
Yep.
Tanya has a little bit more of a spring in her step now that she's not carrying 3 halberds and 3 sets of leather armor.
Yep. Are you still wearing your armor, or did you sell? You sold your armor, I guess. So at the moment
I don't wear armor.
Oh, not you. I meant Nico. Sorry,
armor.
sold your
armor would do nothing for me.
Yep. But Nico
Yeah,
is
Nico-
currently unarmored.
Nico sold his armor because he can wait. Figuring he's not going to get attacked in the middle of the town square. That's when I get mugged.
Yep.
Root beer.
That's great, Tanya. There for you.
As you, so you would all make your way back. I think let's say that Tanya and Nico would find Dimma first, or the sort of coming into the agora would be pretty easy to see Dimma and this tent. Dimma probably just has some odd elf walking away and is looking a little bit bemused, if I remember correctly.
Dimma?
No. Okay. But anyways, we'll say it was just immediately after that. That
the good news is a turtle stands out. So
yeah. Yep. So I think it's fair to say that you all would see each other in the square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, really, so they would see 2 Dimmas coming in, which is a clear sign that they're right.
Dimmas. Yep. So you get 2 Dimmas. One's already there. One's walking in, looking. I'm not sure, but smelling slightly of coconut and seawater.
I feel like Tanya would have like a hard time telling the 2 apart, but I feel like Nico would be like, "Knock it off, sister."
Oh, because don't they sense each other? Like, don't they actually have presence?
I don't believe we do.
Okay.
No, but Nico can tell which one's the actual Dimma.
Yeah. Nico has a paladin ability that, if Nico knows what Nico's looking for, would be enough to ping other demigods because they're celestial.
Nico did a shit job of it before, though.
That's fair. Nico.
Wait a second.
We always roll good on this show.
Wait a second. Hang on, you said a paladin ability or your demigod ability?
I think you have a paladin ability that lets you sense celestials, fiends, and so forth.
Yes, that's right. Divine sense. Duh, we're celestial. We count as celestial.
Yeah. My source books break one D&D convention, which is that I think keywords should be many to one, and so you have a bunch of keywords on you. Creature types in standard D&D, you are only one thing. You are a humanoid, or a giant, or a fae, or a beast, or you cannot be more than one of those things. But demigods, among other things in my sources, are more than one of those things. So the party is back together. There's not much for me to do here. So what do you guys do?
Yep. So Dimma, looking at everyone, will say, hello, I have some thoughts from having explored this place. Has anyone found anything important? Or should I just...
I mean, we found a jeweler, but I mean, haven't gone and talked to them.
Ooh! A jeweler would be great.
We have jewels?
Yeah, we found them off of the muggers.
Oh, you would already run off at that point, I think.
I didn't realize. Can I look at them?
Yeah. And Nico will pull him out.
Ooh, let's see.
feel like I should definitely have appraising abilities of some sort.
I think if you are proficient in jeweler's kit,
I might be. I've got to find it.
you as a rakish bastard get to choose a whole bunch of such things. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a jeweler's kit somewhere
Well,
here.
while you find that, I'll just mention. Oh, jeweler would be great. I don't know if I've mentioned this. If we can find a pearl which is worth enough, which a jeweler might sell, then I can start to tell us what our magical items do in more detail.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a weird quirk of the contract that set up the. You know what? Never mind. It's about 100 gold pieces, which is more than People around here probably know not to accept gold from someone like me if they want to still have the same amount of gold after sunrise. But yes.
I mean, I guess worst comes to worst, we can just go diving if we can't find a pearl.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then we can have oysters. Anyways.
Yes. Speaking of that, in no way. I think I would like to inform some of these kind of town council people that our prisoner is. I'll actually look around now. Are we being eavesdropped on? Does it seem like anyone paying attention to us?
You are four very interesting people in a crowd of curious people, so you're definitely being listened to. But whether any of it's surreptitious eavesdropping or whether it's just folks in the crowd is hard to.
Yeah. Okay, then I will adjust to. I would like to tell them what group our prisoner belongs to and what that implies for them. That will have significant political ramifications, which I think will work out well for us.
Sure, and I want to help them make a more permanent structure for Miraja to stay in.
Perfect. This will probably encourage that, unless they go in a direction that would deeply surprise me.
Well, that would be sad.
Yes, there is a sad direction they could go in, but it's unlikely.
I mean, it is unlikely because I can just call my mom. I have to call my mom, though.
Don't make me call my mom.
I will. My dad owns a dealership.
Oh no!
Oh
That's who
my God!
Nico
I think
is.
our dad might actually own a dealership. He is a swindler. Our dad owns a dealership.
It's a used cart dealer. Could be. You'll have to find out if you ever catch up with him what he's doing now.
Incredible.
Used carriage dealer.
Used cart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carriages, fine luxury carriages made by Ferrari.
This bad boy can fit so many halberds in it.
Anyway, what?
All right, so Dimma wants to talk to some folks. So
I think it looked like Lamia was reacting to that.
Yeah.
I was basically trying to sift through my stuff to see if I had jeweler's tools, and I just want y'all to know, like your characters to know too, that I have alchemist supplies, thieves' tools, and tinkerer's tools, but no jeweler's tools, unfortunately. So I can apparently make stuff. I'm not terribly familiar with how thieves or tinkerer's tools work.
Yep. So I see you're proficient in alchemy supplies and thieves' tools, and I see you have.
I have a dual somewhere. The tinkerer's tools are in my equipment. But the other two, I don't.
So you're proficient in the other two. You have the tinker's tooks,
What?
Which is a weird combination, by the way, because you're not proficient with the tinker's tools. But tinker's tools is like a little like work person's kit. I think, if I remember correctly, tinker tools has like pliers and snips and grommets and hammer.
Like some misunderstandings when I was building my character, and we should just.
It would be especially while you were in a town. I don't mind if you hand wave swapping out something you selected for something else that you would have selected if you'd known. Because you're in a place where it would be seamless to just do that anyways, just to trade in your tinker's tools for a jeweler's kit. So if you intended to, or if you it looks like what I would suggest is that you either switch one of your tool proficiencies to match the kit you bought, or switch the kit you bought to match one of your proficiencies.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do.
Yeah, so you can do that just behind the scenes for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to.
But neither is a jeweler's kit, so your ability to appraise jewels is.
Jeweler's kit is out of the what is it? Out of question, but
it's out of the running.
one of the roguey ambitions. I am a big fan of shiny objects, and I really want to see these bad boys and like look at them and just ooh, shiny.
Oh, right. That's where we were. Yeah. So I think Nico, you were scanning them over. So there are, actually, yes. So there are 5 gems. There is an obsidian, a blue agate, a lapis lazuli, a blue quartz, and an azurite. Which I think I should probably make some sort of skill check to recognize, but I find that kind of boring. So that's what they are. So there are a total of 5 gems of differing sizes, I suppose. Almost all of them blue.
They sound pretty.
And they were, just to remind everyone else, and I think they said that, yeah, they were on the folks that that accosted you. The monks.
Did, before I go off to find Chiron and the others, did anyone else find anything that we all ought to know about in this town?
There is a bookstore that is looking for you. They have the first encyclopedias. Basically, take all the knowledge in the world and put it in a series of books.
Impossible.
Well, that's what they're trying to do, and they have a set of 6 books, and they're selling them for the set for 2 gold pieces.
I would be happy to talk with them about that next.
Well, I look like you right now, so they're expecting a you to come back. Whether it's me or you is up to you, I guess.
Ah, that sounds great. As for gold, does anyone have some gold that's very clearly of this world?
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch.
Cool.
And you know what? You know, he is a demigod and isn't aware how the world works, so he just pulls out the whole sack in the middle.
Yeah.
Give me money.
At that point, Tanya's like, whoa.
oh, sorry.
Sibling, shower me with
Wave that kind of stuff around.
I mean, is somebody gonna try? I mean, at a game though, who's gonna try to mug Nico?
Yeah, right.
Nico
I
is
don't know, but
so nice.
everybody's freaking watching us.
Yeah. So there is
your money.
You know, it's you think about it, it's probably, you know, it's not like a bank money bag, but there's a
still a heavy little like
jingle
coin
jingle
thing, but
yeah,
he's
you gotta
gonna
just,
like
People of that world would have an understanding of how much gold would fit into that size of a
Right.
bag.
yeah, but
well,
he
especially
will,
in the
he will,
agora. There's
but
like people
he'll
who are
hand-
mentally weighing it.
but he'll hand 10 gold pieces over to Lamia.
You go.
Right.
Cha-ching.
And you said how much do I need? Like 2? Is that right?
2 is what you would need to get those books.
Okay.
All right.
You want to
Alright,
have a little extra in case it costs money to go through customs.
Okay, so he's just all right. So 10 to Lamia, 10 to Dima, and
Thank
10 to
you.
Tanya because he's just handing out money at this point.
Right.
There we go.
Tanya won't accept it though. She'll be like, "Oh no, I'm okay.
But I'm giving everybody money at this point.
I have some money. I mean, it's not like a lot, but Tanya would feel weird taking money from you."
But it's probably part of the split. I don't even know how much money we made off of everything.
But Tanya's like, she works for her money, so like just to be handed money is like a weird concept to her.
If she manages to express that, Dima would say, you did work. You summoned a bunch of spirits and helped defeat some accosters."
Yeah,
You
there
want gold stuff?
you
So-
go. See, here's
Maybe
your
you
10.
can just buy me something nice later.
Well, here's your 10, and here's your 10, and I guess I'm gonna buy us a really large dinner tonight. That's cool. Oh
All right.
yeah. Oh, 10 gold worth of dinner. That sounds really
Yeah.
good.
He goes like, "Oh man, I could buy a lot of food with this 10 gold."
Oh man, I so want to hit the seafood buffet.
Right?
Oh, I bet that's really good here.
All right. Well, yeah. So Dim, unless we have anything else, Dim will now go wandering off to go stir up some chaos.
Well, so it'd be pretty easy to spot Chiron, who is currently at the Lizard Folk family liquor store that has been set up.
Excellent.
Well, I'll need to try them all, surely. And he plunks down like a gold coin as if to pay for all of his samples.
Yep.
And they have these little tiny glasses, and he's quite, honey
Oh,
mead, and like just is working his way through.
This is exactly the mood I would like to catch him in.
A little bit of everything. Does anyone go with Dima, or you can probably see what's going on here?
I mean, if he's trying to like smooth talk or talk to the council, I guess Nico would follow.
I'm
Could be
going
relevant.
to I'm going to stick with anyone who's selling stuff because I want to make sure.
Mhm.
They mentioned that they had sold stuff before, and I'm just like, Nico?
Oh, Nico didn't mention anything. Anyways,
Yeah. All right, so at
I mean,
least
I
let's do this. It's close
halberd.
enough.
Come on.
At least Dimma and Nico are making their way over towards Chiron. And if anyone else likes the sound of that conversation, there's a good chance that you're close enough you could just decide to join. So, cardamom. Really? Well, and just like this big centaur man just makes this little shot glass just disappear remarkably quickly and doesn't seem to respond at all. Yum! Oh, hello. And then notices Nico and Dimma.
Hello. If when you have a moment, I like gesture to all the shot glasses. There's something I'd like to discuss with you and perhaps some other members of the council.
Oh, we have sort of an informal arrangement here.
I noticed, and so some of the other informal people.
We don't have a scheduled meeting anytime soon, but certainly if you talk to any one of us, we can take it to the others as we bump into each other. What sort of questions do you have?
It's actually a piece of information I'd like you to know. It should be done ever so slightly in private.
Oh, well.
It concerns the new sleeper.
Should we perhaps duck into the tent?
Sure.
He sort of circles around to where the entrance is, and kind of very, like, realizes that he has to be very careful stepping into this place to not make a lot of noise, because he's got hooves, sort of ducks down and scoots inside and says, well, what news do you have?
Well, I thought you should know actually about the prisoner that we brought in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, I suppose we should. Hadn't thought of it at all since then.
Exactly. I know, of course, you are a city devoted to the sharing of knowledge, yes, and the open discussion of it.
Oh, of course.
Our prisoner is from I believe you may have heard of him, the Biblos Citadel. Tell me if I got that wrong. Please
Biblos.
correct me.
Yeah, just
Biblos.
His jaw drops a little.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. His jaw undrops.
Yep.
I should speak with Critias about that.
Yes, you should.
That we have a prisoner from the Citadel.
Yes.
They were after your and he gestures towards Miranda.
Right. Yeah. Dima turns to look at her. Yes.
Ah. Well.
And to be clear, I do not know exactly what you think of them and their ways and their reputations, but to be 100% direct, they claim that they wanted to bring her in to protect her for her own good. Interestingly, this was part of a mission where they were collecting several other dangerous objects they're going to collect and keep safe for their own good, such as this one. And here, Dimma will take out the closed up scroll, or what's the word you use? The hilarious
Palimpsest.
word. Palimpsest, yes.
A mechanically distinct from a scroll.
Right. This is another such object which they used in combat against us. So I shudder to think of how they would use her if they felt the need while they were taking her to their citadel for her own good.
He sort of just absentmindedly, not like demandingly, but just like you're showing him something, so he absentmindedly puts out a hand. Do you hand it to him?
No.
Okay. Oh, well. This. What is this?
Oh, I am not entirely clear on the details, but it appears to be an artifact that involves principalities and horrors. Those are the words, right?
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he knows about those. At the same. Well, I guess if anyone. To be.
I would be happy to talk more about this at some point, also in private with some people. But you should understand, that there is a certain risk both from the prisoner and from the sleeper here, but a risk that I think it is necessary to take.
I'll be frank, since you were quite direct. What little I know about the Citadel, it seems as if we should have interests in common, but it would not be good for this town for them to focus their sights on us.
I agree.
But it would also not be in line with the values of Colophon for us to let them do what they do in our... And he just sort of like, he looks tired. He looks...
Yep.
I need to speak with the others.
I did try to warn you.
No, I appreciate that. So my personal belief, and I cannot speak for the others or for the decision that our informal council might make, that we should protect this young woman. We should attempt to understand her situation, but we do not have the means to deal with the sort of people that you clearly already dealt with. We would need allies, help, something. I can't even imagine how we would deal with a raid from...
While I too cannot promise anything without speaking to all of the others, I think we can... It is likely we would be able to help get that started.
I'm a help with that.
What?
Oh, I might be able. I might be able to help with that. I mean, I was thinking, anyways, about getting some Aristians to come here and help build some walls here, and maybe they don't mind standing guard for a little while. And I mean, our group is gonna go a certain way that might distract from them. But if I could, I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Get some other paladins to stand guard for a little while. Maybe that'll help.
Sana seems to wake up, or at least get up from resting. She says, "That's interesting. Followers of Eris. I noticed that your friend is wearing an amulet that could be a symbol of the void."
Which friend are they referring to?
Oh, she gestures at Miraja.
Oh.
She has your... Well, if that is what I think it is, then with your help, perhaps the temple proper of your... Don't know how to...
deity?
Of all five, perhaps.
Sorry.
I will remind Tucker that the void or chaos is considered a sister or mother of the other, and is one of the five ladies.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
Oh, that's sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing that. Well, if we could, I'd love to help building the structure, and I could, probably go talk to the other temples and everything.
Oh, interesting. So just, you'll know this without a roll. The temples, the formal temples of the five ladies are, there are probably other smaller altars and temples around the entire area around the Hearthsea. There would be several, but the churches proper are five separate different holy sites on the Moonpeak Isle, which is to the northwest of this area of the Hearthsea. So it's the big island in the northwest of the sea.
I mean, I guess we just have to time it correctly, because it's gonna. Well, actually, our prisoner did mention they're not going to immediately think something's wrong. So we do have a little bit of time before we fortify this area, but we should probably head off as soon as possible to go talk to the temples.
Let's tell you what. I'm going to I'm going to run off and I'm going to speak with the other counselors, and I think we need to discuss this. So in about an hour, if we could meet at the Olive Tree Tavern, I can get us a private dining room and we can discuss.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Yeah, all right. Meet you there in an hour.
And he clops off at a gallop. In fact, he darts out of there. And Sana sort of sighs and says, I guess I'll see you there. As Kylan has made promises for all of them.
Thank you. Sorry for messing up your nap.
That's fine, she says. I don't mind that at all. I was just resting a little. I figured I should supervise the place even when I'm conscious. Well, I'll have to find someone to watch over people here during our dinner. And so she sort of bustles out of the tent as well. Let's see. So that what are Lamia and Tanya up to, since we just spent some time with the others? Did either of you poke around the Agora or try to do any errands during the last few minutes, or are you just going to catch up with the others now?
Tanya, are we doing anything? I'm ruminating on the jewels, trying to figure out if it's a good idea to sell them or hold on to them, or like sell some, keep other, because they're pretty. And I'm also I think like when no one's really looking, I'm using, oh God, where is it? Basically like the equivalent of a distort value to make them look shinier.
Oh, okay. No one including Tanya? Are you trying to hide this from Tanya or just from the crowd?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, distort value is a first level. I could also probably use prestidigitation to make it look like shinier.
I think distort value is the right.
Distort value is the right one, but prestidigitation is free.
Oh, I see.
So
do you use just? I will say prestidigitation or other minor illusions won't go beyond what distort value can do.
Yeah, the distort value is 8 hours, so I really need to move on after I do this.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, let me just see. So distort.
It's 8 hour duration, and it's touch per 1 square foot, so I could get all of them in one go.
Oh yeah, you can get all of them, and it lasts. I see what you're saying. So it takes a minute to cast.
Really, if it's just making them look shinier, they might be like, oh, these really don't have the same luster as they did yesterday, but you're not going to feel ripped off.
Yeah.
With prestidigitation, you could definitely polish them, like without doing any of the elbow grease of actually polishing them, because it says you can instantly clean an object no larger than 1 cubic foot. But note that doesn't really add value. That's just like work.
So it would save you some work, get some of the blood off of them or whatever dust is on them now. It would not. Yeah, it would help. In the same way that like tidying up a place might help you, get a little bit more rent from someone. Cleaning them up might help a little bit in the negotiations. So I will note that Tanya knows where the jeweler is, and Lamia has the jewels right now. So is that what you two are doing, or do you want to talk it out?
I think at first I picture Tanya being a really like observant type of character, and so with the hustle and bustle of like the area and people like buying and selling and trading and all of that, I think she's probably just like taking a moment to like walk, like maybe not even like walk around a whole lot, but like look around and like observe like the like sort of like the social norms of the area, and like she's been to Colophon but like has not probably like in depth like looked around and stuff.
Gotcha. All right, so looking around the Agora here, so you do spot now that it's been pointed out what it is, a black velvet tent, small, is set up, like room for maybe 2 or 3 people to stand inside at most, taller than it is wide. So the things I mentioned before, so the lizard folk are there. There's an alchemist who's now focusing on things that are glowing. There seems to be some sort of little miniature debates happening at those debate tables. The Debate Me chess club is going on. There is someone setting up a stall on a cart, turning a cart into a stall, covering it with a bunch of red leather covered books with a big gold E on them. Let's see, what else are we going to see? There is someone coming in now that it's almost dark. You see a tiefling and a fey dwarf rolling in some sort of apparatus and setting up another stall that appears to sort of fold out of itself in a complicated way. And as you watch, you realize it's definitely folding out more than would fit in the apparatus itself. It's continues to keep pulling in a way that is not geometrically possible. Setting up some sort of a new business. It's starting to shift towards evening. And so what that means is you see some of the sort of crafts persons leave, the higher end people sort of stay, but it's those that do have guards showing up, or someone tough looking to stand nearby at least in a couple of cases. And you see taverns that are sort of around the edge putting out torches and candles and setting up outside eating areas that sort of surround the agora. They don't come into the agora itself, but you see sort of dinner time or people getting ready for evening. Is any of that stuff that Tanya was looking for?
I don't know that Tanya was necessarily like looking for a specific thing, but she will like especially like the one where it's like just like folding out and folding out. She'll probably have like wow, that's very, cause she's not like a super heavy like magic type person or anything. So that will probably catch her attention a lot, and she'll just kind of like stand there and like watch them unfold it, like completely like entranced, basically. Yeah,
so it's there's a fey dwarf, which is just sort of something you'd recognize in this world as a type of subrace of dwarf, and a green tiefling, which you don't see many of, and they appear to be they're bickering, so maybe they're a married couple, maybe they're hetero life mates, but they've got a routine, but like two people who've got a routine setting up a tent, that doesn't mean they don't bicker about exactly how it's supposed to go. But this thing appears to be, it's a small case, and it almost would work, like you'd pull out a thing and then it would fold, and you pull another thing, it would fold, but it just keeps pulling out and folding another thing in a way that doesn't quite make sense. And what they end up setting up is this sort of wood with sort of brass hardware and almost engraving inlay on it, setting up a little shed basically that is just coming out of kind of a large suitcase. And inside there are a variety of strange things. There's no theme to what you're seeing them set up necessarily. There are weapons, rings, jewelry, amulets, scrolls, a shield, stuff that all looks really nice, but other than being really nice and very finely crafted, doesn't seem to have any other theme at all.
Yeah, so she's probably like almost doesn't even realize that she's just staring at these as they set up this tent, and she'll just sit there kind of like watching. And if they make eye contact with her, she'll probably like kind of like, oh, and then we'll feel inclined to ask more.
Yeah. So as soon as they're there's something really interesting that happens, which is the dwarf is just intent on setting this up and setting up the shop. And once things are mostly set up, the green tiefling seems to, how do I say this, intentionally notice you, acknowledge you for the first time to say, we'll be set up in just a moment, as if they didn't want to say anything until they were soon going to be set up, and said, are you interested in any of our wares? We've brought these goods from all over the realm, and from beyond it, if you will, and we certainly have wondrous things to sell.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not looking for anything in particular, but they do look very beautiful. And like, does it look like they're kind of like ready that if she like walked up, she could like point and be like, what does that one do?
Yes, they don't quite invite you yet, but it looks like 99% set up. And what does that one do? Let's see. What do we get?
By the way, while Paige is busy getting swindled, I've snuck away and actually changed my face so that I don't look like Dima anymore. I look like a trader, not any particular one, but like a generic trader who came off of one of the ships because I'm
merchant vibe kind of going on.
Merchant vibe, and also just like illusion bombing the gems in my hand because I'm about to do some shady shit and I don't want the group with me or people being
so
able to know who
you're able to sort of duck around a corner where in sort of the fading daylight you don't have you catch a moment where you can change yourself. It does take a full minute to cast distort value. So you probably have to be kind of either suspicious or careful or try to find a spot where nobody would see you for a whole minute.
I mean, like, I can pretend I'm retching in an alleyway and, like, actually just, like, be using magic.
Yep. Make a stealth check to see how effectively you...
That's stealth or performance?
I will take stealth or deception.
Okay. Oh, God. Ooh, that is a deception roll.
What did you roll?
Give me a second. Oh my God, what the... Deception! My dice are betraying me. I rolled a 4, but my deception's a +6, so I got a 10.
That is sufficient that you don't see you don't attract any attention other than that of a retching merchant.
Cool.
You get one like very like muscular like dock worker halfling dude with like a tattoo being like, "You okay, buddy?"
Or thumb up, like
good luck up there tonight. I hope you have a lovely evening, and like hustles on because it's kind of gross.
Just like half-hearted wave and more retching pretending.
You see like a little like poor dude kind of look on his face.
Yeah.
Some people just start too early. All right. So that you can accomplish that. Are you going to? Let's see. So where we're at now is evening is fallen. We've kind of got everybody separated a bit. What do you all? Let's sort of summarize what you're going to do with this sort of hour before dinner.
Yeah. I'm going to go to one of the people who come into this town. I don't really want to mess with this town because they're helping Miraja out. So I'm going to try and sell these items to and I'm going to both like have them clean and polished, but also like the distort value, which specifically makes them twice their value. Like that is the description of the spell.
Yep,
so I'm going to.
Yep. So you're basically going to hawk these gems or try to. Is that the? Yeah,
and, like they move around enough, they should be fine. I'll try and do it to like different salespeople, so I'm not like murdering any one person, but.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So you're going to sell them all individually. Okay. So, okay. That's interesting. That's a neat take. Let's do, so you're trying to get your best value.
Yeah. And also as soon as I'm done with my shady business, I am going to change my face again to like some random person who doesn't actually exist or that I've actually seen exist. Because this is Shady Slim. That is who I am right now.
Yep. All right, let's do this. Why don't you make a thinking? Yeah, so you're trying to sell something as being more valuable than it is. So the right skill is make a deception check, and I will give you advantage because you are quite well prepared in a number of ways. To see, and then that will determine how good a haggle you get on these gems that appear to be twice as valuable.
Also, if something doesn't go well, I want to use Fey Presence to charm them.
Ooh. So okay. So if that roll goes badly, you have a backup plan engaged, which means it won't. Yep. All right. So make that deception check with advantage.
Where is deception? Ah, there it is. I got an 18.
The first person you talk to, and because I rolled a counter roll, isn't interested. Doesn't freak out. But that does not work to your advantage. So you'll have to try again to start over with someone else.
Okay.
So make another deception check with advantage.
Am I making the roll each time?
Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm giving you a couple chances to fail. And so it's sort of one roll for all of them, but you have to start the process over if you get off to a bad start. Yeah, and I have a number of tries at that in mind before things will go badly. So make another deception roll with advantage.
I will note that in chat earlier, Trident redeemed inspiration for both Lamia and Tanya.
Oh, geez. Thank you for pointing that out. So
if you get a poor roll, you can you have inspiration.
Oh, right, that's right. So if you get you can't combine. I don't think you can. Can you combine inspiration and advantage?
Don't
think so. I
think
inspiration gives you advantage.
Right. Yeah. Inspiration gives you advantage, but you can choose it after you see the result. So, but what you should do is, if on your character sheets, for those of you who got it, you can click the little inspiration box, and it will make a little sunrise appear, so that you remember that you have docked a point of inspiration.
Okay. Thank you. I also just rolled terribly that last time. I accidentally rolled 3 times, but the 2 that came out were a 9 and a 7.
All right. Is that
yes
with you? Oh, wow.
The 9 was with advantage.
Okay. Does that mean you rolled oh no, right. You don't get the 1 because you rolled it on the. So let me see your opponent. You got a 9, you're fine. So this next person, and so this means that you did okay on this, and what that means is you will get, let's see, I just want to get the right amount of money, so it would be you're able to get 80 gold.
Okay.
Out of those gems.
Are you just assuming I'm haggling, or?
Yeah, so that was all the haggling. Yeah, if you, I because I'm doing these as kind of vignettes, I didn't want to do the whole.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. I would rather make this run faster too.
So your result of your thing that you spend most of the rest of this next sort of 45 minutes doing is you no longer have 5 gems, but you do have 80 gold. Okay. Tanya, what are you doing with your time before dinner?
Well, she's at that stand, and she felt like it was polite to just leave after she's been noticed staring at them as they set it up.
Yep.
So she's gonna go up to the stand once they're ready and kind of like point at like a shiny and be like, "Oh, what does that do?"
Oh, so let's see. I need a table for this. Excuse me, I forgot to bring this book out. This will take me a minute to look up. So what I'm going to do is go to someone else and come back to you again, unfortunately, so that I don't spend all of our... Actually, did I turn to the right page? Yeah, let's say yes. Okay. I'm pretty close, so I think I can do this here. Let's see. Let's do... I'm close, sorry. Do you have a full set of dice handy?
I do. I have several.
All right. So why don't you roll me a d6?
I'll pull up my green ones for Tanya. The 5.
All right, and then I get to roll. Actually, I'll let you roll. Can you roll me D100, please?
Sure can. 52.
52. Ooh. Bring this up. Oh, that's an interesting one. The dwarf actually steps up, who doesn't seem to do most of the talking, and says that is a very special potion. I'm impressed with your eye. If you drink this potion, you get stronger for an hour. Comes from the strengths of the giants themselves.
Oh. She wasn't expecting that because she always pictures like potion-y, alchemy things to do like illusion-y stuff and not like help her in combat.
Yeah,
like right? Like, especially with a lot of the stuff that like she's experienced lately with like Dima, a lot of it is more kind of like along those ends and not like bulk you up.
Yep. Yeah.
She's surprisingly interested.
Yeah, and the impression that you get, because we're doing this as a bit of a vignette, is this is a magic item shop that is set up kind of temporarily. So they have kind of a random selection of what appear to be magical items, if they're telling the truth. You get the impression that this pair of people, one of them may sort of repair and fix up things, and one of them is there to schmooze with the crowd and do the sales part of the process. But the dwarf was excited by the potion, so stepped in.
And is there anything else that might catch Tanya's eye?
Like
in particular?
So the way that I will actually do this is if you, any of you at this shop talk about a type of thing you want, I will find a thing that is roughly like that. So if you're, either a piece of equipment that might be a magical version of it, or a type of effect broadly, then I will see how successful you are in terms of luck with a luck roll, and then I will from there decide if there is something and pull it from the tables in the DMG. This is kind of for this town anyways. This is you might find some magic items shop.
Yeah,
but it's very much an eclectic collection. Yeah.
If there was something that would catch Tanya's eye, it would probably be like equipment related. Like if there was like a fancy shield or like something similar as to her trident that was magical.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know how many magical tridents there are, but
so a trident or a shield, make a luck roll. So make a D20 roll.
D20.
I will see whether and what you find.
12.
The 12?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. All right, just have to see what the commonality of this is. I guess they say, well, we have this shield here. It is a sentinel shield.
Oh.
And they'll explain it, but it's while holding this, and this is the tiefling explaining. While holding this shield, you have advantage on initiative rolls and wisdom perception checks. The shield is emblazoned with the symbol of an eye. So they have a sentinel shield for sale.
I do like the sentinel shield. I use those for one of my other characters, and it's great. I have a feeling Tanya does not have enough money for this on her, but she will ask, like, that looks very nice. And she kind of like, motions to her shield, like, would be a very nice replacement. About how much would a shield like that cost?
Well, we mostly deal in trade. So ideally, if you had anything of comparable value, especially something not similarly enchanted, but something which is itself enchanted, we might be interested in arranging a trade.
Well, I only really have one thing that would fit that description, and it's definitely not up for trade. She kind of like
you do. Your party does have a collection of magical items,
right? But she doesn't have it on her.
You personally have Eggy, and that is, I believe, all.
And she like mentally like like caresses the egg, kind of like yeah. Well, how long will you all be here for?
We're here for the next 3 evenings before we leave town.
Oh, well, I have some friends that I'm here with, and they might have something. So, it's a very nice shield. And so maybe I'll be back, and I'll have something that I can trade with.
That would be lovely. I hope we see you again.
And maybe I can. That potion is very nice too. So I'll have to see. I should probably get going. But maybe I'll see you again soon. She like awkwardly leaves.
Nico, what are you doing with your 45 minutes to an hour before dinner? You may be muted. You are muted.
I am muted. Now I'm not muted. The jewelry is being taken care of. I guess he's gonna try to find that pearl for Dimma.
Oh, neat. So you have a couple. Well, you know where you're just gonna sort of look around the different shops and see if anybody has pearls.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, he was told to go around the agora, and I guess he would have started with the jewelry shop that was
yep.
mentioned to him first.
Right. So you don't have the jewels with
So
you.
he would probably swing in there.
You realize when you get in there that you gave the jewels to your mischievous sibling, but the jeweler does in fact both buy, sell, polish, and cut, and does have pearls for sale, among other things. Sort of, welcomes you and basically, actually, I'll do this properly. It's a gnome, and she says, "Oh, welcome, welcome. You found my little jewelry store. I buy, sell, cut, polish, and set fine jewels. I'm not a jeweler in the sense of making jewelry, but I can certainly set a gem in something meant for that purpose. What are you looking for?"
You came recommended by Daffodil.
What a lovely person.
Yeah. And I'm looking for a pearl that's used to help identify magical items.
Oh, I know the kind. I know what you mean. Yes, I know that there are certain requirements in size. I guess that means that the color and perfection don't matter. Specifically, you're just looking for something of the appropriate weight. All right. Well, if you could, let's see. So it's for you. Do you need just the one?
Yep, just the one. I mean, I also have these jewelry bits that I could use. I mean, it's a self-solving problem because my friend can then identify these items for me. But since you also know about jewelry, you might just be able to recognize what they are.
Oh, remind me. So what have you got that's jewelry? Let's see. There's the circlet.
Circlet.
Yep.
And come on, screen.
Yep. So when you bring up the circlet, we'll do that first. The gnome says,
and an amulet.
An amulet. Well, the circlet is definitely made of blackstone. That's very interesting. It's very, very, very fine. I don't often deal in blackstone, and I've never seen a piece like this before.
What is blackstone exactly?
So make a how about a history check? Or you're asking. Oh, okay. Well, blackstone. It's a stone that is imported from. They say it comes from the Black Isle. It's very interesting properties. It is a glass-like seems to be naturally occurring stone on the island. It keeps an edge remarkably well for a gem. It is somewhat workable in the sense that it can be carved and keep a shape and doesn't tend to chip. And there are those who say it has other more peculiar properties, although that's not my line of work.
Good to know.
I've never seen a blackstone piece other than a blade of this size before. Worked as jewelry. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And then the amulet.
Yes.
Well, this is an interesting stone. I don't know if I'd call it a jewel. So I don't know much of the value unless it's got some cultural significance. But looks like a river stone. The inclusion, I suppose I would call it, although it's odd to say that about a river stone, is fascinating. It looks, I wonder, maybe magically made. It looks intentional, but it's clearly. And she pulls out the thing. That's part of the stone. I don't really know how. Well, that's fascinating. No, that's neat. Both very unique pieces. I normally work in
thank you for your insight.
In gems for jewelry, but both of these are very fascinating. Certainly, if you decide you're willing to part with them, I would certainly discuss purchasing either of them. I don't know what I'd do with them, but they're so neat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And is it a 100 for the pearl?
Make a sort of let's do this as a quick persuasion check, just to see if there's any particular charisma or bond with this person.
All right. Let's see here. 22.
22. That's very solid. For you, if you you speak nicely of my little shop here, I'd be willing to sell you a pearl like that for 90 gold.
Excellent. I can absolutely speak nicely of your shop. Would you also like a nice sign? Might be able to bring people in.
I prefer word of mouth. I'm a little
Okay. No problem.
I don't want the wrong kind of attention here in the Agora, you see.
Oh, understood. Thank you. And I'll definitely, if we're looking to sell the gems themselves.
Well, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much. Thank you for spreading the word. And Dimma,
you.
what do you do with your
Of course.
hour?
I'm gonna go talk to people about an encyclopedia.
Okay, cool. So yeah, they're setting up shop. There's a couple of workers who seem to have been hired on the dock, and two sort of bookish. Well, someone we already sort of met who's a little bit of a gregarious character, and their quieter companion. Yeah, definitely one encyclopedia salesman and one someone more scholarly, perhaps. Getting set up and tidying, and the scholar is sort of dusting everything off and getting them set up nicely, and the salesman is looking at the crowd, just looking for anybody who's looking in their direction. And there's not a lot of attention being paid to this place, despite having what would be in this era a wealth of books. There's something about the packaging, perhaps, the fact that they're all identical, that is not fitting in with the vibe of this place.
Of a very heterogeneous Agora. Yep.
Yes.
Well, they'll probably see me then, like, pretty quickly.
Yeah, it sees your attention, and is very, hello. Yes, it's good to see you again.
Ah, yes. So you've set up your shop?
Oh, we're almost done. Yes, we are ready. We've taken care of customs. We've brought most of our stock here. We've got the rest stored, and we're hoping to really get a name for ourselves here with the encyclopedia, the first compendium of as much general knowledge as one can fit in bound volumes.
Ah, already your reputation precedes you.
Well, we did meet, but you've heard about us? That's lovely.
Well, by that, what I mean is people are already saying that your books contain all knowledge, which...
I see. Well, that is our aim. Of course, it may take time to collect all knowledge, and we don't know how many volumes that would take. But my...
Indeed, there may be a small asymptote problem.
A what now?
You should look it up in your book, perhaps.
Asymptote. And it flips to the first volume.
That's not quite the right word, but like I feel like it would go too far for Dimma to say you have a big O problem.
I see. Well, we'll see. I suppose if we're always working on expanding it, it will continue to get bigger and bigger, more and more interesting, and we'll have some new problems to solve in the future. But for now, we've got a really quite impressive compendium of knowledge, all sorts of topics from all over the world, and of course, about the other worlds as well.
Oh, other world. Do you know anything about the past of the world?
Oh, history, yes. No, there's a number of articles on historical topics. We've got various generals, princes, leaders, some information about artifacts found from the First Age. There's all sorts of things. We've my partner here has worked with scholars, librarians, scientists, philosophers, teachers, all sorts of folks to compile the knowledge into articles. We've got people working all around the world now to provide articles for our next volume, which we're ready in as little as 3 years.
I'll take a look at the books. About how much does it seem like these 6 books would weigh?
Oh,
like how bad is carrying this?
Not that bad. It's
Yeah.
Carrying it. Okay, yes. Traveling with it, not bad. Walking around with it all the time, pretty rough. It is 6, inch and a half thick volumes.
Yeah. Well, I know a friendly turtle.
I see you're looking at the size, but if you look here, we have a special carrying case and pulls out a basically they all come in sort of a box, like say my special edition
Right.
of the D&D books.
They're upselling me.
One of those case boxes, but
Yep.
this one has got leather straps that have been made around it, so that it can be carried as a carrying case, or has a
Yep.
longer one as a satchel. He says for only 5 silver, you can add the special travel attachment. So that you can carry the entire library on you wherever you go.
There are some people here who would greatly appreciate that. Here, if could I take a very quick look before I buy one? I just want to check
Please,
something.
of course. We've got one out just for that purpose, and there's a set of 6 of them, like spread, and he has the first volume, and he hands that to you.
Yep.
A
So
through whatever that is.
Yeah. So for real, what I'm gonna once again, because I keep doing this, right? I'd like to roll history if I can and see if I want to find you some article and see if it lines up with my memories, how different it is. Find out if we're gonna have any Gelmurray amnesia, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Let's roll your luck roll. In this case,
luck roll? Okay.
Well, actually, no. So you're right. I guess we're a history roll first, and then a luck roll, and then we'll see how they coincide.
Okay.
Because there's a bit of this, which is what do you know, but there's a bit of this, which is what have they put in this book.
Right. Yep. All right. So history is +4. Eight for my history.
Okay.
That's fine. And then I just roll a plain d20 for luck. Not that it will help much. Another 4.
Oh, interesting. So you are in A through D. You have. Yeah, at a cursory glance, I will say that you don't. But if you would spend some time with it, I can sort of do a little montage of what you do find. So
I think we're pretty near the end of the game. So
that's why
I think I would say Dimma looks and is like, none of it seems familiar to me. But like, whatever. This seems reasonably useful. So yes,
I will say then for your montage, you see a lot of general knowledge on topics, some of which you yourself hadn't heard of, and it can be everything from this is how you sink a post into a river to build a bridge, to these are the different kinds of stones that come near volcanoes. There's just a very strange.
It's nice to know what the mortals care about, right? That sounds useful. So especially for this group.
Yeah. That's true.
So we aren't always putting the burden on poor Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do mortals think about apple pie again? Anyway.
Right. Oh, perfect. Yes. Not necessarily opinions, but you can read between the lines of what facts they choose. So he offers you this. He says, "You seem like a very influential person, and so we're looking for." We don't know the word we're going to use yet, but we're looking for people to spread the word about the encyclopedia. And so I have an opportunity for you. I will sell you an encyclopedia for the 2 gold cover price. I will throw in the carrying case, but I will ask that you also take with you a collection of our calling cards. And that you it lists places where by the time you get them out there, the encyclopedia should be for sale across the rim of the Heartsea. And so if you will occasionally share these cards with people who you think might be interested, I will throw in the carrying case for free.
Tricky, an interesting suggestion. The nature of my influence may make this complicated. May I instead pass them your calling cards off to an acquaintance of mine who is perhaps better at distributing small objects?
I don't see the problem with that, but do understand that this is, if you will, an agreement among honorable folk that you will help spread the word to people who might be interested in buying the product.
Yes,
however you do so.
I am saying yes. I think there is someone else who would be better suited to do this, to spread that word than I.
Oh, Well, that's fine. If you think of someone you know who's even more influential than you in these matters, of course.
Excellent. Then we have a deal.
Achoo!
Somewhere a lot of his ears are
Yes.
burning.
And there is an accord between you, and a deal is struck. And you get a collection of books about more than a foot cube in every more than a foot in every direction, almost 18 inches wide,
Some of our spells.
with a nice sort of leather satchel arrangement that sort of straps around it. And a little box of what appear to be sort of letterpress calling cards that list the names of shops in about a dozen big cities in small print on one side, and a little blurb about the encyclopedia on the other. He hands them off to you and looks very pleased with himself. And you notice that there has now been one set of encyclopedias sold out of all the ones visible on this cart this evening.
All right.
With that, I assume that you all make your way to the aforementioned tavern at the aforementioned time.
Yep.
It is now, by the time passes, it is quite dark. And you find yourselves outside of the Olive Branch Tavern. It's where they said it would be. It is not less than a block from the Agora. It's a nice looking place, very homey. And doesn't look very active here. You see a few flickering candles, but it's there's nobody at the door. There's no greeter. There's nobody sitting at the tables outside. It's like they haven't been set up. And there's not sign of bright light inside. What do y'all do?
I was just checking time. Remind me.
I'm trying to wrap up in the next couple of minutes because we're a little over.
Oh, okay, cool. I kind of thought we might be about to go in.
I'm facing you with something that you will have a little bit of an opportunity to respond to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So see everyone. All right.
So you see a restaurant that appears to be, at a glance, empty, but there are some candles lit, some lights inside, but it's oddly dark inside. It is the place that you were told to meet.
Yep.
Does anybody do anything?
I'm going to walk in as like Nico Part 2, I guess.
Oh, another Nico? Okay, yep. So
Because you've never seen me as somebody else in the party, so I'm going to keep that.
Yep.
Keep that.
You're keeping Lamia's identity secret still. Make a quick.
I'm not showing her in town because
What's
I
that?
know how to work as a demigod.
Can you make for me an investigation check?
Passive or active?
Well, investigation. I'm going to have you roll because passive investigation is actually that's a thing. You're right. I can just see your passive investigation, so that works.
I have a passive investigation of 12,
Okay.
which is better than what I just rolled. So please use that.
Okay, that's fine. No, I forgot that investigation was because it shows up as passive because I so rarely use passive skills, but I'm fine with that. You find that there's nobody seated in the sort of first dining room that you come in, but when you poke your head in a side room, it appears to be another dining room that has been set up for a private party, one big table, and around it you see sleeping Sana, Critias, Chiron, and a number of other figures, 3 more figures you don't recognize. They are asleep, and the light in the room is struggling against darkness, as if something peculiar is arising in this room. And as that happens, you all begin to feel yourselves getting quite drowsy. You feel the weight of your bodies pulling at you, and you begin to see the lights flicker, and you'd swear that in the shadows you saw the shapes of skeletons and phantoms. And with that,
Ending us on that note? Are you kidding me, Ian?
I am of course ending you on that note because There's a method to my madness. We are about to wrap up. And if you hadn't guessed, one important schedule note, we won't be playing in 2 weeks because I will be moving across the country to spend the winter with my dad. So I've left you on a 4-week cliffhanger. But you can join us in 4 short weeks on October 24th for what is obviously being set up as our first ever Halloween special. So that is, in fact, my end of show announcement. Nicely teed up for me by Clove. So this is all the time we have. We're probably a little bit over. So just to remind everybody, Green Plus Great More is on Kickstarter. You can get there at forth.me/Kickstarter. Now's also a really good time to sub because if you subscribe to this here Twitch, you get access to our Discord. And among other things, that gets you in on our audio channels, including when we play Lazy Sunday Civilization, a weekly tradition which will be happening tomorrow among almost every other Sunday. So with that, I have shared what I want to share. I am going to briefly bring up a card to show you all those things I just mentioned because I should have done that before. How about this one? So just so you see those URLs, and I will throw those up at the end once everyone else has said goodbye for a little bit too. But you can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Kickstarter. Thanks to those things there. And now we'd like to end the show by going through the cast and having everyone either say goodnight, do their own shameless plugs, or just sort of scream and yell and wave goodbye. So we will start with Cage.
Helps to unmute first.
It does. Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, so thanks everybody for popping in. I've been Tanya, your Turtle Barbarian. And you can find me and everything I do at ragecagerugger.com. That's RAGEKAGERUGGER.com. And in particular, right now, something that I'd like to plug is my one-shot adventure on the DMs Guild called the Brewski Jubilee, which is now a copper bestseller on the DMs Guild, is on sale right now for my Oktoberfest sale, 30% off. And also, if you would like to see it played out, I will actually be live tomorrow on my own Twitch channel, doing a run through of that with some friends at 5 p.m. Central Time.
That's pretty cool. We mentioned this, I think, last time on the show, but those of us on the show here probably shouldn't watch that because we might get to run through it ourselves. Date and time to be announced. Do you have any messages for or goodbyes for our lovely audience, Tucker?
Oh, hey there, I'm Tucker. Everybody's very hangry paladin. And you can find me on Twitter at TuckerWolf610. I'm going to be figuring out how I can stream Baldur's Gate 3 when it's released in 4 days.
Awesome.
Or find me on Twitter, Tucker Wolf. I'm pretty sure that's me. If I'm wrong, yell at me. Yell at me on chat. Okay, that's the best way to get in contact with me.
These folks do show up on the Discord too. So if you're a member, it's pretty easy to find all these folks by their names on the Fourth Place Discord. But yes, you'll notice that RageCageRugger.com and at TuckerWolf on Twitter are above Cage and Tucker's heads because they are active on social media. Third most among the cast, of course, is Eric, who is anti-social media. But do you have anything you want to say to our audience in lieu of plugs?
Well, I'm Eric. I've been playing Dimma. Yeah, I'm excited to find out. It looks like we have a direction after this town now, and that's exciting. So I look forward to seeing that. Though maybe Halloween will derail those plans.
What could possibly go wrong? And as is traditional, other than me shouting goodnight, Clove gets the last word. Clove, what do you have to say to our lovely audience?
Hey y'all, this is Clove. I'm practicing my ASL.
Nice.
It is good to talk to you. I do not show up on the Discord, so do not look for me there. I am there. I just never check. Look forward to the results of my bad decisions if I am not stabbing myself in the leg to try and stay awake. Then you are then you have another thing coming.
This is going to be great. All right, I'm glad to know how we'll be starting off the next episode. Say again?
I'm pulling a Sasuke.
Oh God. So on that note, I know how we're going to be starting our next episode in 4 weeks on October 24th. That is the Heroes of Four Worlds Halloween Spooktacular Special, or whatever we decide to call it.
One day we're gonna figure out what these magic items are.
You will,
One
and maybe you could have.
day.
If you planned differently, you probably could have either equipped them or sold them before whatever's about to go down. But you'll have an opportunity if you survive our terrifying, chilling next episode. I didn't prepare any Halloween banter, but it's just too fun. With that,
I know you're not gonna kill us because you have to make new character art.
Oh crap!
That's I mean, Mirage is like half dead, so.
It's true. I've already got one bonus character in there. Boy, yeah. I guess I'll have to find some way. We could be a campaign of the doppelgangers who take over your appearances and go do evil deeds. We could call it Villains of Four Worlds.
That's what I do.
That's fair. That's true. So maybe it's 3 doppelgangers and Lamia with a bandage on her leg.
Or maybe it's like supernatural, where like angels have to like take over vessels, and if somebody's just about to die, they can just boom, right? The soul's gone anyways.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, that could be cool. I mean, listen, I've been trying to mix the four worlds pretty evenly, but I would do a occult drama adventure in a heartbeat with this show.
Oh, great. Demons took over Nico's body after he died. Fan-fucking-tastic.
And you're all riding around on black centaurs, listening to hair metal. What's happening now? I think I should probably say goodnight, because now we're just delving into rambling.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. See you on October 24th.
Good night.